you've ever wondered why Black History Month falls in February, well, let me give you a little background information. In 1926, historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association of the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week. Now that was just a date picked at random, but there were so many people backing it and there was so much stuff to cover, they decided, heck, why don't we just make it an entire month? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the most amazing top 5. My name is Michael McCrudden, and sit back, subscribe, and let me entertain you. First off, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. How do you celebrate or show your respects for Black History Month? For me, I pour out a little extra for my homies. What? I'm not allowed to say that? Alright, let's jump into the top 5 interesting facts about American Black history. First up in the number 5 spot, this might be something you've heard before, but we couldn't leave it off this list. I'm talking about Martin Luther King Jr. improvising his speech, I Have a Dream. The date was August 28th, 1963, and 250,000 Americans, they showed up at the Lincoln Memorial for the final speech of the March on Washington. As Martin Luther King Jr. stood at the podium, he had a speech penned for this very occasion. But instead, he decided to take that piece of paper and throw it in the wind, and he would speak from his heart. He stated, "We are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream." Caught up in the excitement, his friend and singer Mahalia Jackson, she was there and began urging him on to tell them about his dream. He started, "Even though we face difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream." He continued on, you know where this is going, and well, that speech, it is one of the most famous speeches in American history. Moving on to the number 4 spot, before there was Rosa Parks, well, there was Claudette Colvin. Now we all know the story of Rosa Parks refusing to give up her seat on the bus out in Alabama, but there was actually several other African American women who refused to give up their seat prior. The first one being, and the youngest of them all, was Claudette Colvin. It was on March 2nd, 1955, when the then 15-year-old schoolgirl refused to move to the back of the bus. Now this was 9 months before Rosa Parks would make her stand. As for Claudette, well, she was thrown in jail, she went to court, she fought for her rights, she didn't get too far. So why are we just hearing about Claudette today? Well, black organizations, they felt that Rosa Parks, she would be a better representation for their organization, for their movement, for the attention they were asking the world to point in their direction. And they were probably right, you know, 15-year-old girls, they can be just a little crazy. Anyway, congrats to all these women who stood up and, you know, made great things happen in America and around the world. Moving on to the number 3 spot, we have the first recorded protest of slavery going down in America. It happened a long time ago. The Quakers, who were also known as the Society of Friends, were founded by 4 men from Pennsylvania, and they wrote their initial protest back in 1688. The white men worked hard to put together a document basically stating we should do unto others as we would want done unto ourselves. Their document stated, "Pray what thing in the world can be done worse towards us than if man should rob and steal us away, and sell us for slaves to strange countries, separating husband and their wife from their children." The men bonded together, made a stand, and spread their message as far as Dublin, Philadelphia. The Society of Friends, well, it would grow in friends, with other people joining their organization. 88 years later, well, they would publicly denounce slavery. But of course, as we know, for far too long, well, their thoughts, their efforts, they fell on fallen ears. Moving on to the number 2 spot, we have a fact that I find really interesting. 1 in 4 cowboys, well, he was black. During the 19th century, the Wild Wild West, well, it was full of opportunity, and free black Americans, well, they decided to head on out there because there was a lot of opportunities to work, and well, who doesn't want to be a cowboy? African Americans made up at least of 1/4 of the legendary cowboys who lived dangerous lives facing weather, rattlesnakes, and outlaws while they slept under the stars. In fact, it is believed that the Lone Ranger, well, that guy, he was inspired by an African American cowboy by the name of Bass Reeves. Reeves was a master of disguise and expert marksman, and he had a Native American companion. On top of all this, he also rode a silver horse. Must have been him. Finally, in the number 1 spot, we got some crazy numbers. Of the 12.5 million Africans shipped to the New World, only an estimated 400,000 made it to the US. The transatlantic slave trade was underway from 1500 to 1866, shipping more than 12 million African slaves across the world. Of those slaves, only 10.7 million survived the dreaded journey, and from there, well, nearly half of that number landed only in Brazil. And Brazil was not the place you wanted to go. The mortality rates, they were through the roof, the working conditions were absolutely outrageous. not Brazil. The United States became involved in the slave trade in the 1700s up until 1866, and it is estimated during this time 388,000 Africans became slaves in America, but still that's quite a shocking number to a lot of Americans. A lot of people thought it was hard. Alright guys, there you go. It is Black History Month, so let me know how you're celebrating, how you're showing your respects in the comments down below. My name is Michael McCrudden, and we cover everything top 5 related here for you on Most Amazing Top 5, and there's probably nothing we couldn't turn into a top 5 list. I've worked with less, I'm telling you. Let me know what you guys want to hear about in the future. Also be sure to share this channel with your friends, hit subscribe, and pour out a little bit for your homies. Am I not allowed to say that? I probably am not. I probably should have done that. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. Okay, bye.